There are 10 psychological loopholes bad boys exploit to get women obsessed, but 99% of men don't even know they exist. And in this video, I'm going to break down why girls hate nice guys and love bad boys, and show you multiple examples of exactly how I use these hidden loopholes in real life conversations so you can steal them for yourself and start getting reactions like this.
Do you have Instagram or something?
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing tonight?
And the first loophole is most important. Avoid the fake nice trap. If you're like most guys, you've probably tried being nice, considerate, and even bending over backwards just to get a girl's attention, only to watch her chase after a guy who couldn't care less. Here's exactly why. Nice guys aren't actually nice. They're fake nice and supplicating to the girl because it fits their agenda. They think if I exchange niceness, the girl will give me attraction and sex in return. Hence why women are repulsed by nice guys and instead attracted to bad boys. If you struggle with nice guy tendencies, here's the easy fix. Don't hide your intentions. A big reason guys get stuck in boring small talk is because they're too afraid to get to the point. Whether it's during a cold approach, first date, or over text, aimless banter is a huge turnoff. Instead, compliment her physically or make a suggestive joke. Here's an example of how I did this less than 30 seconds into an interaction with a woman I approached on the street.
So I need to study quite a lot.
Oh, well, you're smart and you're well dressed, so you have a lot going for you.
Thank you.
Notice I gave her a compliment and I looked her up and down to communicate intent with both my words and my body language. Just before this, she mentioned she's studying for medical school, something boring and platonic, but I used it to convey my intent. Also notice my body language and tonality when I delivered the compliment. I'm not seeking her approval or waiting to see how she reacts. This is another bad boy trait that nice guys completely mess up. It's called outcome indifference. While most nice guys are acting nice to try and force an outcome, the bad boy plays fast and loose. He's high off his own energy and isn't too attached to the outcome with any one girl. This laid back, take it or leave it attitude is magnetic because it allows the connection to form naturally. If you're a successful guy, this trait is actually easy for you to adopt because your life is already great. Whether you strike out with one individual girl isn't going to change the number in your bank account or the quality of your life. This is why successful men who know how to integrate these bad boy traits absolutely crush it with the most attractive women, and it allows them to easily do the next thing, which will prevent you from being boring, the absolute worst thing a girl can say about it. Use gentle disapprovals. Nice guys are overly agreeable because they don't want to rock the boat. They actively avoid conflict because they believe that agreement builds attraction, but the opposite is actually true. Conflict creates tension and tension creates attraction. The uncertainty of what's going to happen next in an interaction is what gives a girl butterflies and leads her to hanging on to your every word. Playful conflict and gentle teasing create emotional peaks and valleys. These create an addictive emotional experience for her. Constantly agreeing is antithetical to attraction because it flattens these emotional peaks, turning the interaction boring, predictable, and stale. Here's an example of how I use a gentle disapproval just 10 seconds into a cold approach.
This is a latte with cold.
It's a little basic. I'm
Why?
kind of judging the drink a little bit. You got to get something with a little bit more spice. What about you? Did you get something more respectable,
Why is mine
sophisticated?
basic? What?
You're kind of fitting like the basic white girl vibe. Starbucks, blonde. Got the athletic wear on, but we can work with
Well,
it.
What are you doing tonight?
You'll see I make a joke about her drink choice being basic. She reacts immediately, so I double down with a bit more playful teasing. That little back and forth instantly gets her smiling, laughing, and fully invested, even though we literally just met 10 seconds prior. Back and forths like this create stakes in the conversation and can make a girl way more engaged than normal, boring small talk. That's the power of gentle disapproval done correctly. If you never use playful disapproval, your interactions become forgettable and she'll quickly lose interest. So the next time you're in conversation, deliberately pick something minor she says or does and gently tease her about it. Watch how the energy immediately shifts, creating way more investment and excitement towards you. But be careful, because gentle disapprovals are just one conversational tactic. There's another essential skill bad boys master that multiplies attraction even further, and that is don't take the girl too seriously. Nice guys treat women like they're an authority figure, never pushing back, questioning, or just playfully dismissing what a girl says. Bad boys are masters at creating interactions that feel like play. They'll poke fun at a girl or simply just ignore and reframe what a woman says to get what they want. Here's an example of how I reframed a woman's objection about my age. In this clip, I approach a woman who's probably about 8 to 10 years older than me. And when I tell her my age, she says this.
I'm not sure how old you are.
26.
You might be a bit too young for me.
A bit too young to exchange Instagrams and perhaps
No, that's fine.
meet up and go out sometime here or in New York. If the
Sure,
stars align.
I'm open to that, yeah.
Notice how I playfully dismissed her objection around age and didn't take it seriously. I reframed the idea of us getting to know each other as something that's not a big deal. Most guys would just fold at the first sign of pressure. They'll backtrack or simply let a girl dictate how an interaction goes. If you want to command respect and build real desire, you have to be willing to man up and play to win. And the easiest way to do this is to use assumptive language. Women's attraction is heavily based on pre-selection, meaning they're attracted to men who other women already desire. By speaking assumptively, when you assume she'll want to see you again or assume attraction, you instantly imply you've experienced this outcome before. You're signaling, I'm used to women being into me, which immediately positions you as high status and attractive. This subtle communication triggers her attraction instinct because it signals other women have already chosen you. Notice how I use assumptive language in this clip from an approach where a woman tells me she's never dated a Dominican man.
Oh, I've never dated Dominican or Puerto Rican.
Well,
Maybe
you
for good
might
reason.
have to now.
I say, you might have to now, referencing myself and assuming that she'd be interested in me, since we're already on the topic of romantic relationships.
You might have to now.
Someone I just met on the street.
Well, you just met me on the street now. Maybe we go on a date or two. We feel it out and go from there.
Bold.
You open to that?
I'm open to chatting again.
She gives an objection and says, someone I just met on the street, and I double down on my assumptive language by saying, maybe we'll go on a date or two and feel each other out. She literally says, bold, acknowledging my assumptive language, and that's when I double down even more and ask her if she's open to it. Then she suggests chatting again, and I secure the phone number. Now, speaking assumptively like you just saw instantly positions you as a guy that women crave. But to truly seal the deal, you need this next skill. If you skip it, you'll risk losing attraction right at the finish line. And that is provide direction and leadership. Think about planning a date. The nice guy texts a girl, where do you want to go? Instantly forcing her into the leadership position and putting the burden of logistics on the woman. Meanwhile, the bad boy will just suggest a place he likes and assume she'll agree unless she says otherwise. Let's check out this bar downtown. They have the best cocktails. As the man, it is your job to assume the burden of logistics and lead her. If the girl has to pick the time, pick the place, figure out how she's getting there, and spend 2 hours getting ready for the date, she's just gonna say no. That's why the text conversation and how you ask her out on the date is make or break. If you say the wrong thing, she'll ghost you and never agree to the date in the first place. This is why texting is one of the most important dating skills, and if you struggle with getting ghosted before the date even happens, you need to check out my 100% free texting course. Inside, I show you my 3 best opening lines for dating apps, my copy-paste message scripts for getting girls on dates and increasing the chances she says yes, and real-life examples of the blueprint in action. This is the same texting blueprint my client Ted used to secure 3 dates in a single week. So if you want to copy paste the same message he used to pack his calendar full of dates with model quality women, click the link below now. Now, taking charge isn't just about logistics like planning dates, because even if you're leading a conversation, constantly asking for approval or permission undermines everything you've just built. So the next tip is just as important for maintaining that attraction you've worked so hard to create. And that is, stop seeking validation, start granting it. Most men enter conversations desperately hoping for validation, trying hard to be funny, agreeable, or impressive. But this constant seeking instantly signals weakness and insecurity, and it's overall just low status energy. Bad boys naturally flip this dynamic on its head. They never seek validation. Instead, they confidently grant it. When you grant validation rather than seek it, you immediately position yourself as the prize to be won, taking complete control and shifting the power dynamics in your favor. This can be done in a positive way that makes the girl feel good while also setting the frame that she's trying to impress you. An easy way to do this is to simply compliment and highlight something you like about her in conversation. Here's an example of this in action.
Well, I have a cat. I'm a cat mom.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm kind of responsible for my cat.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're responsible. That's a good green flag.
Notice the frame of me complimenting her and saying her responsibility is a green flag. The sub-communication is that I'm evaluating her to see if she's the right kind of girl. This puts us on an equal playing field and prevents the nice guy tendency of putting the girl above you. You're suddenly the chooser, not the one hoping to be chosen. Now, once you flip the validation dynamic, it naturally sets you up to lead. And this is where 99% of guys absolutely fumble all attraction. That's why you want to use statements, not questions. Nice guys habitually ask for approval or validation through constant questioning. Is this okay? Are you sure? Well, what do you want to do? These types of questions naturally place you in a subordinate role. You're handing the power of decision making to the girl. But bold statements clearly signal you know who you are, you know what you want, and you're not afraid to own it. This ties back into the previous point on taking the lead. If you're on a date and things are going well and you'd like to invite her back to your place, don't ask, want to go back to my place? State it instead. Let's head back to my place. I'll make you a drink on my balcony and introduce you to my dog. This makes it easier to follow your lead because you're stating something rather than asking a question and forcing her to make a decision. If you want someone to follow your lead, you have to remove the burden of making a decision. This is why statements are so powerful for establishing a frame and allowing a woman to relax into her feminine because she trusts you can lead her. Now, using bold statements puts you firmly in the driver's seat, but what about the actual content of your conversations? Because even if you're confidently stating your thoughts, constantly agreeing with everything she says will still kill attraction. That's why this next technique is crucial for getting the girl addicted to you. That is, don't filter yourself. Think about it. Nice guys constantly second guess every word, every move, and constantly analyze endlessly over how she'll react. But the bad boy doesn't waste mental energy on imagined judgments. He trusts his gut. He's operating from a higher level of authentic consciousness. He speaks and acts directly from his instincts. If he wants to do something, he's just gonna do it. He doesn't stop to think, is this logical? Is this analytically the right thing to do? No, of course not. He's acting from the heart, from the spirit. Just feeling it in his gut is reason enough for him to take action. He doesn't need a 3-paragraph essay or a pros and cons list to justify his actions and mentally masturbate over. This is exactly why the overly analytical nice guy who constantly worries always loses. Now, if you're a successful guy who constantly comes off as too nice or too boring and you're frustrated because you're not seeing the dating results you deserve, listen closely. The difference between you and the men who effortlessly attract high-quality women isn't luck. It's simply knowing exactly how to activate the right psychological traits at the right moments. Whether it's online or in person, I've personally helped hundreds of men turn their dating lives around by teaching them exactly how to embody these powerful traits naturally. And I can personally build your dating profiles for you and coach you through your in-person interactions so that you can leverage these traits and finally become the guy that women actively chase. But there's a catch. Because I work with every client personally and individually, spots inside my private consulting are limited, since I can only take a few guys per month. So if you want to work with me personally and have me hold your hand throughout the entire dating process, click below to apply and secure a spot. And if you want to know how to apply these bad boy traits on a first date, then you're going to want to watch this video, which shows you the 7-step blueprint for crushing your first dates.